Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I am Miss Sydney, and I'm supposed to go through the course page with you. So let me just share my screen. This is the course that I will be using. It's not a course that any of you are going to be enrolled in. It's just a demo. And when you log onto your course pages, or you go into your dashboard, the course page should have your course ID, the course code, sorry, the title of the course, and it will have the academic year. All right, so it starts off like this. So this course is CIT 203, which is intermediate spreadsheet, and that was for the academic year 2020-2021. I am logged in as a manager, so there are some things that you are going to see, and then I will switch my role as a student because I need to show you a few things, because as a student, you won't be seeing. On your course page, your lecturer may decide that he or she is going to use the top part of the welcome to remind you of upcoming events, things that are important. So you have an assignment coming up. The assignment is graded, especially graded, or you may have a live session, and your lecturer wants to remind you of these. So as soon as you log in, you would see something appearing at the top. Again, lecturers are different. And so some of them may have it there. Some of them may just decide they're going to send you an email or a message informing you of this. So, but with me, when I was a lecturer, that is how I would use my course page and send my reminders. I'll put it up here as well as to put it into the forums for the students. So in your welcome, your lecturer will give you a little bit about the course and give you some tips, and that stays up for the entire semester. You may have a course where in that course that you're doing, there are probably 4 lecturers teaching the course and you in section A. So they may have section A, B, C, D. Everybody enrolled in that course will have access to the same resources. Okay, the messages that you're going to receive from this forum, it will be coming from one lecturer. Okay, so everybody would have the same message. So say, for instance, the semester starts on September 6th. Okay, one lecturer will post the message in this forum, the class news and announcement, informing all the participants of their task for the week. So the week of September 6th, okay, to the end of the week, everything that you are going to be doing, you should be doing for the week, will be posted there. So if I open this up and I go into this, slow internet. Just give me a few seconds. All right, so you notice that I have week 1, so this is the first week, okay? And depending on the number of announcements that the lecturer has posted there, you would see it appearing. Now, the most recent, or let us say, for instance, I'm looking at week 1, what I would do, you notice I have like a pin. Okay, so it's like a thumbtack on a notice board. So you would know that, okay, this is a message that Miss has sent in and I need to look at this message. Now, sometimes, although the week started on September 6th, you probably only logged in on the 8th, okay? But you still need to go in and look at that. And probably by the 8th, the lecturer would have sent another message. So that means you have 2 messages that you would have had to go through. Okay, so the lecture would normally start off with the week, because some of you may register late and you're coming in, week 1 has already ended, we've moved on to week 2. So you would know that, okay, this information, I need to go through it because I was not in the class yet when that message was sent. I need to see what exactly I should have covered in week 1. So you open it up and it should give you, just bear with me. That's what happens sometimes with the internet. Okay, so it would give you all the information that you would need, okay, pertaining, all right, to the week of September 6th. So what are you required to do? Okay, again, not all lecturers are the same. So how I may start my message may not be the same way that your lecturer may start the message. So I usually put a motivational quote for my students, and then I tell them exactly what they are supposed to be doing. So everything that they're supposed to be doing for that week, it will be there. And again, it is the student's responsibility to read the entire thing and to make sure that they complete before the week ends. All right, so this is where you would go in at the start of the week if you are in a course where there are several sections. Okay, so that is your class news and announcement. Now in this forum, you cannot respond. Okay, so when you go to this forum, you only go in there to get information. So you cannot respond to the lecturer there. If you are in section A, remember I said the course may have several sections. This is the forum that your lecturer will be using to communicate with you. So everything that happens in this forum for each section will only be visible for persons within the section. So if you are in section A and Miss Paul is your lecturer, everything that goes in there, the messages that you'll be seeing in there will be from Miss Paul. Okay, if you are in section B and it's Mr. McDonald, okay, so Mr. McDonald will be responding to queries from his students, and he'll be communicating with his students in there. Okay, so although that message is sent on the Monday, your lecturer will be sending you reminders via this forum, the lecturer-student exchange, throughout the week, just to make sure everything is okay. You're seeing a lecturer's forum, but as a student, you don't get to see this forum. This is a forum that will be used for lecturers to communicate. Okay, so students will not have access to that. They would not see. We're moving on, and you notice you have a course syllabus. Now, your course syllabus, this is like the Bible for your course. When you log into your course, ensure that you go straight to this so that you have an idea as to what is supposed to happen for the entire semester. All right. So when you go into there, it's going to have the name of the course, okay, the semester that you're doing the course, your hours, who the lecturer is, the email address, the office hours, whether you meet every Tuesdays, whatever. A little welcome message. And I'm going to go through that because you will be getting that. What is important in this document is it is going to tell you about your assessment. Now, often students will send emails to us telling us they cannot see a quiz. I didn't know I had a quiz. Okay, remember students, when you log into your course page, you need to look for the course syllabus. Your course syllabus will tell you all the assessments you are having, the date for the assessments, and the weighting. So in my course, okay, my students had a practical assignment, and it would cover all the work they did in modules 1 to 4. That was 20%, and the date for this was June 13th. Okay, as we got closer to the date, then I would be sending reminders, letting them know what time it will open, what time it will close, etc. There's also a bit on feedback, telling you when you should be getting your feedback. Some of you will be doing a course, and the course may last for 7 weeks. So that is the modular approach. Some of you will be doing semester-long courses. So that is for 15 weeks. If you are doing a semester-long course and your lecturer has given you an assessment, a graded assessment, you should receive your feedback 2 weeks after. Now, 2 weeks after, you need to go in and you need to check to see if your grade is there. Okay, so you should get your grade and you should get the feedback. Not just the grade telling you you got 10 out of 20, but 10 out of 20 and let you know why you didn't get the 20 out of 20. Okay, giving you feedback that's going to assist you. So when you come to do probably the final exam, you don't repeat some of those errors you made with your first assessment. For those of you doing the 7 weeks, again, after a week, your lecturer will be giving you the feedback. Okay, again, Mr. McDonald went through and he showed you where you would get the grades. Now, often students are not even concerned about that, but students, you have to be concerned with your assessments and the grades. Remember, the assessment will tell you the weighting for it. Okay, so if it's 20% and you only got 5 out of the 20, you know you have to work extremely hard at the others because you need to pull up your weight. Okay, so you have to ensure that as soon as the grades become available, you go through, and then if you have any queries, you write to your lecturers right away. You do not write to us telling us you cannot see your grades or you're not satisfied with your grades. You write to the lecturer of the course. So, Miss, I got 10 out of 20, okay? You gave no feedback. Can you tell me where I went wrong? How do I improve? So you need to do that. So the feedback is important as well as the grade, not just the grade, but the grade and the feedback. The resources that you are going to require, that is going to be there. If the course has a textbook, okay, there's a text assigned for the course, your lecturer may tell you you have to purchase the textbook, or they may tell you, we are putting the textbook there, but we will be providing you with the necessary chapters for you to read, so you don't have to go buying the textbook. So they will inform you of that. All the other resources that you require in terms of your devices, etc., okay, all of that will be there. Go ahead, Mr. Emmanuel, Imani, I think her hand, the person's name is, hand is up. Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel.
Yes, Miss Sydney, you said something to me?
No, I'm saying I have an Imani Ogis, hand is raised, so.
Imani, go ahead.
Okay, so I would like to ask in regard to our book list that was given to us from the nursing department. Do we have to get our books now, or do we wait until the semester begins and then they will let us know what books to get or what books will be provided?
Okay. In term, I cannot answer that to tell you wait until. What I would advise is that you send an email to your program head and ask, should I go ahead and purchase the books? Because I noticed you made you provided us with a list of books. Should I go ahead and purchase the books or should I wait? Okay? So you can do that. Send an email to your program head and you can ask concerning the books.
Ivana,
okay, no problem.
All right.
Ivana.
Excuse me, ma'am. So based on what you're telling me, do we have a set schedule as to our classes?
Okay. When you register into SONIS, because you have to first register into SONIS, okay? Remember, you are doing a lot of these courses. Some of the courses are online, maybe strictly online. Depending on the program you're doing, you probably have to come in if it is labs or you have a workshop, etc. So again, after you've registered, you will be informed as to whether you have live sessions only once a week or twice a week, or if you will be meeting every week, or if you have to come into the college. All of that will be given to you by your lecturers and program heads.
Okay, thank you. And also, at that same time, I'll be able to know whether or not we're doing seven weeks or if we're doing the 15 weeks.
Yes, they will tell you if it is 7 weeks for the modular or if it's a semester long, 15 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions or can I move on? All right, so this has all the resources that you require. You have to make sure you have a laptop. You cannot do your online course on a phone. So it's important that if you don't have a device, that you make sure you have access to one, okay? And you have internet access. The software as a student of the college, as soon as you come in, I know you have access to Office 365. So you would have all the Microsoft Office software. So you can install that on your computer. The course policy will be there. Attendance in the online environment. I know quite a few of our students have started working, and sometimes when the live sessions are given or are done, some students cannot attend, okay, you have to take responsibility. Yes, you are working. However, you have to ensure that as soon as the recording is available, that you go through the recording, okay? And if you have any questions, that you pose those questions to your lecturer know of some of the questions that you're having. What we have happening sometimes is the students do not attend the live sessions, they do not view the recording, and then they ask a lot of questions that they themselves can answer if only they watch the recording. Okay, so if you know for some reason, because things happen all the time, no electricity, no Wi-Fi, you cannot log into the live session, but as soon as the session becomes available, you need to go through that recording. All right, so this here, then we have the grading policy, so you know exactly what the grades are. So if you get from 90 to 100, that's an A+. And then 0 to 44, you know, that's F1, that means you failed the course. For some programs, okay, I think for the nursing, I think 60 is your minimum, I think, and it's not all courses. I think some courses you must get like 90 to pass, okay? So again, it depends on the program that you're doing, okay? Some of these may change, all right?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Say, for instance, if you said if you're working, right? If I'm working, for example, and I notify the lecturer from early, that shouldn't be a problem, right? That I am working or what's not?
All right. If you are working, but you still have to be a responsible learner. So you have to find time to view the recording. If you are working, remember, you get access to all the dates for your assessments. There are times where assessments cannot be changed, and so you have to make arrangements with your employer because the assessment cannot be changed, okay? So if it is a case where you have to work, you will have to inform your lecturer, your employer, because you know the dates from the time you log in, the very first time you log, you will have access to all the assessments. So you let your employer know, look, sir, can I make up because I have to do this assessment at this time, all right? Often
Understood.
what lecturers will do, they will open up, if it's a quiz or what, they may open it up until 11:59 p.m. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are aware what the deadlines are, etc. Okay. Yes. Same thing if you're sick and you're hospitalized. It's important that you contact your lecturer, program head, let them know. I know when this COVID thing all started, I had one student and she was asymptomatic, but she at the hospital and she missed the assessments. Okay, but when she came out, we had to schedule the assessments for her. But again, we were informed. Okay, we had her medical, we got a medical from the doctor, okay, indicating that she was hospitalized. So you cannot just leave it and decide, oh, I'm sick. No. So as soon as you go into the hospital today, or you had to go in to see the doctor, have them give you a medical and have somebody, if you can scan it or whatever, to send it to your programmer. You don't wait until 3 weeks after to inform them of this. Are we following so far, students? All right. In terms of penalties for assessment, assignments, the college has a policy with regards to that. Some lecturers, let's say for instance, you have an assignment and it is due today at 11:59. So today is the 23rd and the assignment is due at 11:59. So the deadline is August 23rd at 11:59. However, some lecturers, what they may do is they have a cutoff date, and the cutoff date would be probably tomorrow, August 24th, and they say at 6 a.m. So they leave it open. However, anybody who submits after the 23rd, 11:59, you'll be considered late, and there's a penalty for that. Okay, so there's a 10% penalty, so you are aware of this. Okay, some lecturers may have a cutoff, where they extend it a bit. Some lecturers may not have a cutoff. Okay, so the deadline is the deadline and there's no cutoff. So if you do not meet the 11:59 deadline, you may end up getting 0. Okay, so, and again, always ensure that you are aware of all those things. You cannot just take it for granted that a lecturer will give you an extension. No. Okay, so if you are sick and you have something to submit, you cannot submit, you have to put that in writing, and you have to ensure that you provide all the necessary information. If it is something where you hospitalized or you had to go to the doctor, you've given a medical, you send that as well, attach it with the email, and you send it to your program, the lecturer, and you CC your program head as well. Okay?
We have a question from Jade.
Okay, go ahead.
So my question is it 10% of your final grade or 10% of this particular assignment? 10%
of the assignment. Now, it is for each day, okay? So let us say the lecturer decides he or she is going to give you, it's due today, 11:59, but they're going to leave it until, today's Monday, Wednesday. So you realize that's 2 days. So it is 10% for Tuesday, 10% for Wednesday. So that is 20%. So each day you are late, you are 10% deduction. So you really and truly don't want to be late. Okay? Are we okay with that? And usually, well, when I taught, I know if my students were late, in the feedback, I would put that in, because it's going to show that you are, when you submit the assignment, it's going to show that it is late. Okay, and the amount of time that it is late. Well, Miss Johnny went through plagiarism and etiquette, so I'm not going to go through that. And then you have your course schedule. So your course schedule will tell you what the various weeks, what you should be doing, and the due date. So if you have something that's graded, so you may have an activity that is ungraded, you may have an activity that is graded. Okay, so depending, often we have students who only engage in the ungraded activities. I'm sorry, graded activities, and they don't participate in the ungraded activities. The only way you are going to be prepared for the final, because your final may cover everything, is if you participate in both the graded and the ungraded. All right, so again, as I told you, your course guide is like the Bible. So you need to go through that entire thing, okay? So that you are aware of what is supposed to happen. All right. So I'm moving on and I'm looking at the virtual classroom. So your virtual classroom, this is where we're using Google Meet, or on this side, this is where you are going to click to join a live session. So your lecturers will indicate when you have the live sessions. Okay, again, that will be in your course syllabus, or it will be on the course page indicating whether it's Mondays and the time in which you have the live session. All right, again, as I said, so you would click in here to enter the room. If for some reason you have not attended the session, okay, the sessions will be recorded. All right, you notice that here I have a session that was recorded. Okay, all you have to do is to go into the classroom and you click play, and it will play the recording of that session that you missed. Now, again, you need to go through the session, the recording, so at least if there's anything you did not understand, okay, you are a little, you know a little more, you're getting some clarification, so for some questions you may have had, and if you still think you need to question the lecturer, then you can send the lecturer a question. Often we have students sending emails to lecturers, Miss, I don't understand. What don't you understand? Did you even view the recording? Okay, so students don't want to sit down and view the recording, but it's important, participants, that you go through the recording and make your notes, and then if you have any questions, you are able to post them in a forum that your lecturers may set for questions. All right, here we have your graded assessment. So this block would contain all the assessments. Now, Depending on the course you're doing, your assessments, your graded assessments may be 5, it may be 6, but you need to be aware of the dates, the type of assessment, and the weighting. So here, this is assignment 1. You notice these are drop boxes. So that means I have to work on something, probably create, whether it's a Word file or an Excel file, and then I'm supposed to submit. Now, this is your first assignment, and it is 20%. It's telling you when it is due. It is going to open at 8 a.m. I'm opening it up, and I'm closing it at 11:59 p.m. So the students know that they must meet that deadline. So you have to complete all the instructions and the files that you are going to require. When you open up this, it will be in there and you will see what you are supposed to do. After you've done this assignment, okay, then you would have your another exam. Now, this is just a demo, okay? So you would have gotten the feedback for this assignment before you move to this one. And the same thing would happen. You would have gotten the feedback for this before you do this. So you notice for this course, you have 2 practicals, and then here you have a multiple choice. All right. So after the first 2 assessments, you have an idea, okay, it's 65%. You have an idea as to whether you're passing the course or you're failing the course. Okay. And again, that's why it's important that you are aware of what your grades are, so you know how much work you have to push in order for you to pass the course. We're hoping that every student passes whatever courses that they're doing. Your lecturers may also give you an orientation activity. Again, this activity is going to help you in familiarizing yourself with the course page. So some lecturers may decide, okay, I'm going to give you an activity where I want you to upload your profile picture. And if you're uploading a profile picture, you use a picture where the lecturer can actually see your full face. All right. And they may also ask you to tell me what your expectations are of this course. So you're going to do a course, you hear intermediate spreadsheet. What do you think the course is all about? So tell me what your expectations are and tell me the expectations that you have of me as your lecturer. The lecturer has expectations of you, as you would see in my welcome on the course page. I have already put in what I expect from my students. I expect them to log into the course page, keep track and manage their time. So I'm telling them these things. The same way I expect my students would have expectations of me as their lecturer. So I'm giving my students an opportunity to tell me what they expect from the course, as well as what their expectations are of the lecture. So this was normally done in the first week. So we're hoping that as soon as you log in, you change your picture, okay? So you put in a picture, get a decent picture, okay? And whatever activity that your lecturer has for the orientation activity, that you complete this within the first week. Then we move on to week 1. Now, let me just go down so you can see. Each week is going to have the week, whether it's week 1, week 2, and it will give you the dates. So you have an idea as to what dates, okay, that covers. So the week of August 16th to August 20th, that is week 1, and these are the topics that I'm going to be looking at. Worksheet basics, modules 1 and 2, pretty short, so I'm doing these 2 within the first week. I am going to put in my notes for my students. So every week I have notes pertaining to the module. All right. Some lecturers may give the description as well as the objective, your learning outcomes, what they expect you to learn by the end of the week. That may be placed on the course page and visible on the course page. For me, normally I put it in here. Okay. I always give my students a practice exercise, something for them to work with. Okay, to practice what they've done for the week, and any questions that they have pertaining to the modules, they would ask it in this forum. So if you've gone through and I have told you, okay, how do you rename a group of cells? And Miss, I tried it and it didn't work. Okay, so you want to ask me this question, you post it in there. Okay, so that would be for week 1 question and answer. So whatever questions you ask in there, the lecturer would answer. Sometimes students can answer the questions too. And it's always wise that you look at the previous questions that are asked so that you don't repeat the same questions. Okay, so that is week 1. And then the same thing would carry on to week 2, week 3, etc. Now, the only reason that you're seeing all this on the course page is because I'm the manager. If I switch my role and I go in as a student, okay, so this is what you would be seeing. So you don't see everything. Again, you don't see the lecture forum, and you don't see the rest of the information for the weeks. Normally, the lecturers don't show everything. For some students, it's like overwhelming when they can see too many things on the course page. All right, so what the lecturers would do is to open it up a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time, okay? So that you have access to 2 weeks work before they open it up to the next weeks, all right? So this is what you would be seeing. On every course page, okay, you would have the picture for your lecturer, okay? There are 2 of us teaching that course, but this is my section, so the students in my section would only see my picture, okay? The students in the other section would see the picture for their lecturer. So I have my name, I have my email address, and I have my office hours there for my students. So my students know that they're in a group and they're in group E, okay? So there's a course evaluation, and that comes at the end of the semester or the end of the session. So if you're doing modular, so after in the 7th week, you would see the course evaluation appearing. So that would be your, oops, I don't have the course evaluation down there. Your course evaluation would be over here. It should have been down there. So here, you take the time and you do the course evaluation. Often, students don't want to do the course evaluation if they're passing the course. And a lot of the students sometimes who take the course evaluation are those who are not doing well. That means some of them did not put in the effort. They never attended the live sessions. They never viewed the recordings. They missed out a few of the assessments. And so they think that is the way I'm going to get back at my lecture. But the course evaluation should be done by all students. Whether you did well in the course or not, you should do the course evaluation. Okay, it's a way of telling us your experience with that course, so we know, okay, are there things that we probably need to change for the course, etc. So you should take some time to go through and to complete the course evaluation. Again, your grades, you find it on this side. So as I told you, after the week or after the 2 weeks, so you've had your first assessment, okay, you should go in and look to see what your grades are, and right away you comment. You don't wait until the end. So often we have students writing to us, asking us or telling us they cannot find their grades. I don't know my grade for the course. Okay, students, anything pertaining to the course, that has to do with your lecturer. So if you cannot, for some reason, you cannot see the unit notes or the videos are not showing, you're supposed to contact your lecturer. If you cannot see the grade for the last quiz you did, you're supposed to contact your lecturer. So you send your lecturer an email, you send the lecturer a message, okay? And you inform the lecturer. And in doing so, always ensure that there bits of information that you must put in. So you must have your name, your full name, okay? You must have your student ID. You must indicate the semester, okay? Is it semester? Because sometimes you're writing and the semester ended already and we're already into a new semester. So you need to indicate to the lecturer the semester. You need to indicate the session if you were doing modular. Is it session 1 or session 2? You need to indicate the academic year. Okay, you need to also indicate who your lecturer was. Sometimes you wrote to the lecturer never responded, so you're now writing to your program head. So you need to let the person know who the lecturer was. You need to indicate what section you were in. Okay, so were you in section A, section B? All right, and always ensure that the message, the email, whatever you're sending, it is clearly stating the purpose. Okay, why am I sending this email? Because I cannot find my grade. So make sure you give all of that and let the lecturer know, okay, I cannot find the grade for assignment 1. Assignment 1 was on August 31st. Okay, somebody's hand was up, Mr. Emmanuel.
I'm not seeing any hands up.
No questions. To me, I just saw.
No questions.
Okay. All right. So you have to ensure that whatever message you're sending, that is clearly stated, because often you're assuming that people are psychic and they know what you're talking about. In the online environment, communication is key. So you have to ensure that that bit of information that you're trying to communicate is clear, that you are sending the information to the right parties. Sometimes you send something to eLearning about a quiz. Remember again, your lecturer, first point of contact, anything pertaining to your course, okay, your lecturer. So you need to communicate that with your lecturer. Questions, comments?
I don't see any questions in the Q&A.
Okay.
Well, there are questions in the Q&A that have been answered by the team.
Okay.
So,
look, Ivana's hand is up.
okay, yes. Ivana, go ahead.
Ivana. Not to get off the top, yes. Not to get off the topic, but if our classes are strictly online, we don't have to go into the school for any practicals or anything such. Your uniform, you don't have to buy a uniform, right?
No, you don't.
Okay, and another question. So for instance, if I have to travel and I still have classes at that time, but I don't have to go to the school, as I said, for no practicals, that's a possibility, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Most
As long as I complete,
as
I complete the assignments. Okay.
Once we're online, you can access us from anywhere, but ensure that you do not have a practical component to your course or you're here in time for it. Make sure you have your schedule, okay? That you have a clear schedule as to what you're doing and when you're going to go about doing it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem.
Teja?
I think Tia, go ahead.
If I was a past student recently and I have done some courses that's already they're asking me to do in this new program, who do I go to or who do I email to say that I have already done this course and I would like to be exempted from doing it again?
Okay, so most likely if you have done the courses, they are in SONIS. So you would be exempted, but my advice to you, what program are you in?
Creative and Performing Arts.
Okay, so you need to contact Dr. Joseph, Johnny Joseph. Email address is jjoseph.
I have an email address.
Right,
I have
great.
yeah.
So just contact Dr. Joseph and she will take care of it for you. But once the course is in SONIS, you should get that exemption.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. So, Ms. Sydney, let me just take this opportunity to just point the participants of this session to a page that they can go to get a lot of information, okay, so that they might have their questions answered before they even try to email us or anybody else, okay? Yes?
Yes, Mr. Emmanuel.
Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen, okay, and take you guys to our eLearning, our website. So is everybody seeing this? Ms. Sydney, are you seeing it? Yes?
Yes,
Right.
Mr. Emmanuel.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. Now, if you go to the menu, you will see a tab for eLearning. If you click on eLearning, okay, it will take you to a page that will ask you to log in. Logging in is pretty simple. You just click login and you use your Google Apps address. Okay, the reason we ask you to log in here is that we have information that we don't want just anybody in the public to be able to download. It's information for you and for the lecturers. If you log in, right, it's just a very basic thing. Since I'm logged in already, it just took me there. When you go through it, there are some quick links that you could go to, the tools that you need to use. This page will take you to the tools that you need. So you could just click download them. So you get a full version of Office 365. You can install it on up to 5 computers. So you could go ahead and click and basically sign in with your SALCC email address and download up to 5 installations of Office 365 and use the online space on Office 365 for storage. You get up to 1 terabyte of space free. Okay, if you look to the left of the page, notice there are some links that you could go to on here for students. Right, there's our FAQ section, which answers some of the frequently asked questions. Okay, right? But there are also on this side too links to troubleshooting tips for Google Meet, for instance, okay, and other tools for if you're having issues with the eLearning platform, okay, what you can do, okay. Let me just go back home. You also have tutorials that you could go to learn how to do the basic things like updating your profile, uploading assignments, messaging, and this is going to grow as we go along. So I want you to use this. There's contact information as well. So if you want to reach us and on your device, you could just go to your device and just give us a call, send us a message or something like that, an email or something like that. Okay, so we want you to use this, right? In case you have any issues before if your questions can't be answered there, or if after that point you cannot get any help, then you can start emailing us so that we can help solve the problem. Okay, so I'm just going to log out now, and to go to the main site, I just click on the icon right here, and I'm back on our main site. There are certain things I want to show you too, because we were asked those questions earlier. If you want to get your tuition fees, please go to academics, tuition, and please click on the program that you are in, and it will simply open up, okay, a document with your tuition so that you could take to the bank or your parents or wherever else. So please use the website to get the information that you need, guys. Okay, so this is it for us. So what are the next steps? Let me remind you of a few important dates. Registration takes place this week from the 23rd today to the 31st of August. Okay, you will be contacted by your program. So if you have not received an email address, guys, please, you need to accept the offer made to you from the college and send it back to the relevant email address. Some of you have not done that, and so some of you would not have had an email address. This is very important. Okay, please be aware of the program that you enrolled in, and so you can actually, if you have any issues, email the program heads for those programs. That is very, very important. I think one of the things we need to do and we haven't done is to put contact information for the different program heads, the different programs on the platform. We will have to do that so you could get access. Okay, but just remember too that the deadline for payment of fees is September 7th. Okay, so if you want a payment plan, please contact our finance department so they can walk you through the process and organize a payment plan for you. That being said, are there any questions before we wrap up? I think we are fine.
I think there was a Kian, I'm not sure if it was Kian who had his or her hand raised. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly. That's just before. Somebody had his or her hand raised, but can't remember the name.
Okay, well, All right, I don't see anyone now, and it's been a long day. So just want to remind everyone to please, it is your responsibility to keep checking on your situation, to email the right people, to call the right people, ask the right questions. If you're not getting information, do not wait for the last minute to say, I haven't gotten it. Okay, want to welcome you again to the college. Wish you well. Know that we are always here to support you. And we will try our best to make your experience as smooth as possible. Have a nice afternoon, everybody. Bye-bye.